No, it's not.
No, they're tough bunch. On January 3rd, 2017, and as revised on June 27th, 2017, adequate notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been furnished by inclusion thereof in the annual schedule of meetings for 2017, which has been posted on the bulletin board at Borough Hall, filed with the Borough Clerk, faxed to the Our Town, the Record in the Community News newspapers, and distributed to all persons, if any, requesting copies of the same pursuant to said act. In case of an emergency or fire alarm, you must evacuate the building by using any of the exit doors in the room. They're immediately to my right, and the double doors at the rear of the room. Occupants must exit the building by using the staircase and not the elevator. This meeting is being recorded by both video and audio and may be rebroadcast.
Everyone join me in saluting our nation's flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Cabret.
Here.
Council members Padovano.
Here.
Trevino.
Here.
DeHere.
Here.
Lindenau.
Here.
Maroney is absent. Nessar.
Present.
Borough Attorney Ron Vario.
Here.
Borough Administrator Roberta Stern.
Here.
Borough Clerk Jean Pellegra is present.
Mr. Bryant, just come up and give us your monthly report.
Honorable Mayor and Council, we issued an engineer's report dated October 3rd for tonight's meeting. I'll go through briefly. The first item on the list is the Economic Recovery Program project. The project's moved fairly rapidly. All the pipes been installed at this point in time. The fencing that has been removed around the pump station will be installed this upcoming Friday. There is on order the partial flume and meter, which will be installed in November, and then the project would be brought online and the pump station would be closed out. The next item on the list is the Maywood Avenue streetscape, which was the first NJDOT funded project. Our office has prepared the final DOT closure documents. We're just awaiting the Borough CFO certification and copies of the canceled checks, and then we'll be forwarding that package so that the Borough could receive the remaining of its 25% of the grant funding. The next item on the list is the West Magnolia Avenue, Magnolia Lane project. That project will be started on October 16th per discussions and also written correspondence from their resident notice that we received today on October 16th. It'll be finished by mid-November per the specifications. The next item on the list is the Oak Avenue roadway improvements project. That work on Oak Avenue has been completed. There's a change order that's up for consideration by the governing body tonight. That change order involves additional paving because the contract was favorable as it relates to the bonding of the project. The borough has chosen or can consider in this change order the paving of Gulf from East Central to East Magnolia, and that's additional paving work because of the pricing that the borough receives was favorable. The next item on the list is the PSE&G improvements to the 69 kV project, which also ties into the Verizon poles, which are adjacent to them. Again, as I mentioned last month, Verizon has stated that they're proceeding with the pole removal. They intend to complete that work prior to the end of this year. The next item on the list is the William Street Fairway and Duvier roadway improvements project. Fairway has been completed. All concrete work has been completed on William Street. All concrete and drainage improvement has been completed on Duvier Place. Additional concrete work which relates to the alternative that the borough awarded, and that is additional curbing and sidewalk throughout the municipality will be constructed this upcoming week, and then the following week milling and paving will occur. The project should be completed by the end of this month. The Maywood Avenue streetscape, which was the Phase 2 project, again, we're working with the borough and its staff to select an ultimate scope as it relates to it and working with the business owners as it relates to the improvements. The final item on the list is the DOT Municipal Aid Grant, which is a call for 2018 projects. On behalf of the borough, we submitted an application for Palmer Avenue on September 27th, which was before the October 6th deadline. That concludes our report. I'd be glad to address any questions or comments that the governing body had, though.
Any questions from the engineer?
Sure.
The two resolutions we have on tonight, are they tied together?
They are tied together. It's all related to the Gulf Avenue additional work that will be occurring, again, because both contracts were favorable.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Would you just mind hanging out until
I'd be glad to.
in case there are any questions for you?
I'd be glad to. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. With the proclamation, please. I'll do my best to read this by quote. Excuse me. This proclamation reads, on October 10th, 2017, has been declared Put the Brakes on Fatalities Day by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood. Whereas across the nation, traffic crashes caused nearly 35,092 fatalities in 2015 and are the leading cause of death for young people ages 15 to 34. And whereas in New Jersey, 603 individuals lost their lives in traffic crashes in 2016. And whereas pedestrian-related crashes accounted for 27.5% of the state's traffic fatalities, while 19% of all fatal crashes involve a distracted driver. And whereas motorcyclists, bicycle riders, and pedestrians face increased risks on New Jersey's roadways as people opt for alternative modes of transportation. And whereas 66 motorcyclists, 18 bicyclists, 166 pedestrians were killed in New Jersey in traffic-related crashes in 2016. And whereas safer driving behaviors such as buckling up every ride, obeying posted speed limits, stopping for pedestrians in crosswalks, and using crosswalks when walking, avoiding aggressive driving behaviors, never driving while impaired, wearing proper safety gear when riding a motorcycle or bicycle, and focusing solely on driving by avoiding distractions can dramatically reduce the number of traffic-related injuries and deaths. Now, therefore, I, Adrian J. February, Mayor of the Borough of Maywood, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim October 10, 2017, Put the Brakes on Fatalities Day, and call upon everyone to put these life-saving behaviors into practice to improve safety on the roadways in our community and throughout the state. Okay, at this point I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to be heard? Please, come on.
My name is Phil Pisano. I own a business on Maywood Avenue, the lower section. My name is Phil Pisano. I own a business on the lower section of Maywood Avenue. I realize you're going to have streetscapes for it there, but is it possible to get our garbage can back? The DPW took it away, and we have no garbage cans. There's garbage going all over the street. There is a garbage can. They did put one on the corner of Central Avenue, Maywood Avenue. But the people that come by our stores, they're not going to go walk all the way there to throw a...
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know,
We had it, the garbage can is...
The whole process was people in the past they were actually using your garbage can for their stored garbage and everything. And
Well,
you're gonna get
is it
people-
possible to go after that person or whoever it was?
You can't catch them, right?
Because, I mean, it's a mess down there.
Yeah, we're going to have to put that. Just for getting new garbage cans with...
Yeah, I realize that, but even if we can get the old garbage can back until you do the street safes, because, I mean, it's just a mess.
Do you by any chance see anyone putting their own garbage in there, or you just come out and it's there?
No, I've never.
I was thinking if you caught somebody.
As far as what, like?
Well, people are using it for home trash, car trash.
No.
Big bags. It's not just...
No, I've never really seen that. You really couldn't get it in there because you had that big metal, and you can't move that.
They're jamming it in.
I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I've never, but I don't really go looking in the garbage. I mean, when there's bottles and stuff, or trash, I just pick it up and throw it in the garbage there.
We'll take care of it.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it. Anyone else from the public wishing to be heard? Please.
Hildegard Amsler, 65 Edgewood Place. I trust that everybody, the last council meeting, understood that I was talking about the lack of handicap parking, not the size. I hope Ms. McNamara is the only one who's hearing impaired. It was the lack of parking spaces, okay? I do want to address the proclamation, okay? Excuse me, I thought I had the mic. I don't have the mic?
I have the chair, so I speak when
Okay,
I...
go ahead.
But I was addressing somebody in the audience. Please, just let me speak. So,
I can't hear what you're saying, I'm sorry.
Just go ahead.
I can't hear you
Please
either.
continue.
Well, speak up a little bit. You can't hear me, sorry. This proclamation is just, it seems there's a proclamation every month or so. But my question is this, where is the acting on the proclamations? Where is the acting on the committees, the access for all? What actually has been done to create greater access, to greater safety? That's what seems to be lacking. And there are just so many things in town that beg to be addressed. I mean, the speed on Passaic, on Central. You've had residents from Central. I can't recall the lady's name who was here, but she complained about it being a speedway, and rightly so. I know they're county roads, but there are other county roads in Bergen County that have 25-mile-an-hour speed limits. So it obviously is doable.
What did the freeholder say when you went there and asked them?
I haven't had a chance to go there yet.
So why are you bringing this to our attention?
Well, because it starts on a municipal level.
It's a county road. Why don't you bring it to their attention and see what they say?
Well, why not?
Why not?
It's a county, we don't have jurisdiction there. It's-
No, finally you don't. That's I understand that, okay?
I don't think you
But
do.
things start usually from the municipal level. And then the county, as they've actually told me one time, we tend to rubber stamp things, okay? And that was a direct quote. I'm not going to say who. But, you know, there's so many things. I mean, just even pedestrian crosswalks. If you look at the length of Passaic, and you go from one marked crosswalk, you're going practically then a staggering distance without a crosswalk marked. And yet there are people trying to get to the bus, because if they take a bus in one direction and it's on their side, well, on the return, obviously they're going to have to cross. There's no way around that.
Are you asking us to intercede on your behalf
No, I'm asking that you consider doing things to
to a county road that we have no jurisdiction over? Or are you asking us to perhaps ask them to do something?
Yes, to get started
So you're
on it.
asking us to intercede
To get
on their
started
behalf.
on, yes. Because
Okay.
it's pathetic. I see people putting their life in their hands, making a dash for a bus. And I got to be honest, it's scary because people, I can't believe it. You stand and wait for a bus to take off, and there are people coming around you over a double yellow line. I mean, maybe we need some police enforcement, too, of actual...
You can't think stupid either, though.
No, but if you start ticketing, maybe the word would get out. I mean, I don't know. You know, where's the answer? It's not easy. I grant you that. But, you know, it's got to start somewhere. Just proclamations don't save anybody's life.
Well, that's your opinion.
Yeah,
That's your
it
opinion.
is, unfortunately. The statistics bear that out.
I don't know what statistics you're speaking of with
The
regard to
statistics
proclamations.
on pedestrian injury and fatalities, they're climbing.
With regard to proclamations not
Okay?
working, or with
The
regard to...
people in a car,
the efficacy of
there's less
proclamations?
happening because of the safety features that are now built into cars.
Do you want us to intercede on your behalf with the auto manufacturers?
What?
Are you asking us to intercede on your behalf with auto manufacturers? I don't know
No,
what you're asking.
You're totally missing the point.
I don't think I am.
Okay, then let me back it up,
Please.
okay? The issue
You
is
seem to have
that
a problem with everybody that we can't affect a change on.
How are you going to fix...
I don't know how I...
Manufacturers are making cars ever safer, so passengers and drivers in the car are ever safer. That's not the issue. I don't know why you're thinking it is. It's not. The issue is the pedestrian who has no safety features. That's the issue. And no crosswalks for drastic... I've seen old ladies with the shopping bags trying to get to the marketplace crossing Passaic.
Or shopping
It's
bags.
scary. It's really scary to see that.
Okay.
And there's no protection of anything, you know? And it's also, in a way, kind of scary for the motorist, too, who wants to brake and doesn't know the person, you know what I'm saying, with the person behind. But if there were some crosswalks, that might help.
I'm allowed you to finish your point. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I'm allowing you to finish your point.
Okay, I'm 5 minutes or up.
If you have an end...
No, I mean, it's
point,
just my thought, you know, it would be nice to see some real action.
I advised you at the last meeting, and I once again renew my advisement, is please go to freeholders meeting.
But that's not where it starts. It starts on a municipal level.
It starts with the freeholders. The action is with the freeholders. You will bypass a whole lot of work if you just go to the freeholders and bring your...
So you're saying you
concerns
just
to
want to
them.
do proclamations and not really take action? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't believe I said that,
No?
ma'am.
Okay,
What
well,
I'm
that's-
saying is I want you to take your gripes, your concerns, to the people that can actually do something about it on a county road. If you have a concern on a Maywood road, a town road, I'm all ears, and I will do everything we can do to,
Yeah,
if
but
there's a problem,
those are
fix it.
smaller, tucked-away roads.
And that's the ones we have jurisdiction over, ma'am.
I have spoken to freeholders in the past, okay? And it's very clear to me from those conversations that things basically start on a municipal level, and then it gets taken to the county, and then they either reject or most likely rubber stamp, okay?
There was a fatality on the turnpike a couple weeks ago in the Essex County area. Should we contact the state and discuss that with them? 4 years ago?
What is a turnpike? We don't...
Well, it's the same thing. We have nothing to do with the turnpike, just like we have nothing to do with the county road. If you'd like us to reach out to the county for you, we have no problem doing that.
I think that's... I thought that's what I'm asking.
Thank you.
Matthew Garofalo, 636 Oak Avenue. I wasn't going to talk, but now I feel like I have to. So, it's again regarding the proclamation. There's 3 points I just want to make real quick. Number one is we had a bike and pedestrian survey done, I believe, in Maywood 3 or 4 years ago. As far as I can tell, hardly anything from that bike and pedestrian survey has been implemented. Sidewalks, 5 or 6, okay, 7 or 8, whatever it was, but nothing has really been done in town, specifically to you walk down the street to the schools, and all of a sudden the sidewalk ends. You have to cross the street to go to the other side. The second part is the Sears site. I've seen some of the plans, which includes a new traffic light and a lot of conversation about cars with no conversation about people and pedestrians and bicyclists. And there are 30,000 people within 1 mile of that site, and I'm just saying that we should have some say in putting some sort of pathways to go to that site so that people can have the ability to walk to the site or bicycle to that site safely. The third is that the Maywood Library. We decided as a town, instead of making Maywood Avenue safer and allowing people at the end of school to go into the front entrance, we decided it was best to not allow people to cross the street and go to Maywood Library. Pedestrians are not now allowed to cross the street because, unfortunately, vehicles... Is the Maywood Library
Where are you coming up with this?
entrance open after
That
school?
entrance is open. And
Correct. The front entrance was closed because it's not safe for
Where are
people
you
to cross
coming
the
up
street.
with, we are not allowing pedestrians to cross Maywood Avenue? Where's that?
Why would we close the front entrance?
No, let me ask you, where did you come up with that we are not allowing pedestrians to cross Maywood Avenue?
I'm asking why did we close the front entrance?
That's a different question. My question is, where did you come up with, we are not allowing, who is not allowing? There's a crossing guard there. Who is not
I
allowing?
understand there's a crossing guard there. Why would we close the front entrance to the library?
Is he holding a stop sign? Where did you come up with that?
I'm asking a question, and
But you're
apparently it's
making
not going to get an
statements
answer.
in conjunction with your questions.
Right.
And I'm asking a question with regard to your statement.
I'm
Where did
saying
you
that
come up with
closing the
that?
library, the front entrance to the library, is saying that you don't want people to go from the school to the library after school. That's what you're saying. You don't want them to use that entrance after
No,
school. You don't want them to cross the street.
Exactly not what we're saying. Number one, for the record, That has never been a consideration of not permitting people to cross. That's all you see is pedestrians crossing. So that is a fallacy right there. Number two, they are coming into the back door. It's so that you don't have a herd of children crossing through the school, so where people get to the library, so where parents think that they can do pickup in the back. And it's a hazard because children were actually almost getting hit by cars on a regular basis. We have the video proof to prove that. We have the videotapes. So the cameras are up there. So in an effort for safety for children, we don't allow the doors for just a certain period of time where children can't go to the front. They can come through the back. So all they have to do is walk around the library, where the crossing guard that gets them across the street. So please, I understand it's campaign season, I get it, but please don't come up here or anywhere else when you walk around town. Don't be spreading lies, please.
I'm not spreading lies, and I'm sorry if you feel that way, that these are my opinions. This has nothing to do with
That's not an opinion.
campaigns.
It's a false statement. Opinion or not, it's a false statement.
Okay.
Can I address the, if I may, Mr. Mayor?
You absolutely can.
The second comment regarding Sears property?
Correct, yeah.
And I'm glad you're interested. One, I'd like to invite you to the planning board meeting.
Mhm.
So it's a topic always on the minds of the planning board as well as us. But because of the movement of it and the cleanup of it, it's not the hottest topic every single meeting. It's a
Mhm.
big issue. We have people working on it all the time. There are a number of plans being thrown out. None of them have been discussed or accepted because they literally change sometimes by week.
Right.
But I can assure you that when something starts heading in a more finite direction, the safety will definitely be the utmost. I live down there. Councilman Pavano lives down there. So in addition to safety, I got 50 other concerns that at the time I will bring up, and if necessary, I'll contact you, and you can back me up and help me, because we want what's best. We want it to be developed correctly. We want it to be good for the town. We don't want it to be a nightmare in any way, shape, or form. So I appreciate the thought, but there's nothing of any concern right now where, say, I guess your thought was, not looking out for the pedestrians or crosswalks. There's nothing there to put on paper yet. It's a lot of ideas.
Right.
You may have seen them, and if not, I'll get you the website, and you can go look.
Yeah, that's what I saw, seen so
They
far.
literally change by the hour, if not by the week. So, again, come to the planning board meetings, and hear, and voice your opinion, because it's important. I mean, like I said, I have my own, and you may be right there with me as to what some of our concerns are, because we happen to live down here, as well as the entire town. But again, it's a very, very important topic for the planning board, and they're keeping a very, very close eye on it. I mean, we have some really dedicated professionals. I'm there emotionally. We have some people there who really know the ins and the outs, who are going to help us to make sure that it happens correctly. So,
Great.
again, please come to the planning board meeting.
Thank you.
Councilman, why don't you tell the gentleman when the planning board meetings are?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're on the calendar.
Yeah,
Thursday.
no, he's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's the first and fourth Thursdays, 7:30 right here.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else from the public wishing to be heard? Seeing none, close the meeting to the public. Greg, thank you for sticking around, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Approval of minutes. Is there a motion for the approval of the September 26, 2017 council meeting and closed session minutes? Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Pavano?
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes.
Didier?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Abstain. I was absent.
Mesa?
Yes.
Okay. Correspondence and report of Borough Clerk.
Okay, I would like to remind everyone that Tuesday, October 17th is the deadline to register to vote prior to the general election on November 7th. And the Borough Clerk's office will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Should you have any questions or want to register or whatever. And I'll just remind our Borough Administrator at this time that we were going to discuss November work session with the council if they want to do a resolution at the next meeting to cancel the November 14th meeting. for the
League of Municipalities, the clerk is not here, I'm not here, and it's up to you, you could have the meeting without us, but
Oh, well,
we generally cancel that meeting. It's bad timing.
Does anyone have any issue with, canceling that meeting?
Listen, if it's canceled and something comes up...
Always have a special meeting.
Yeah, it was special, so
Right.
if there's some kind of emergent issue, it's not...
We have a contract that hopefully will be settled and approved at the next meeting, so November won't be an issue.
Okay.
Also, we'll put the resolution then on to, for next meeting to cancel that.
Anything else?
That's all, thank you.
Thank you. Report of the administrator.
Mayor, I am happy to say that I think this year's Fall Festival was one of the best that we've had for many different reasons. One, because we had a new highlight, Rio Lim, who was just a highlight in so many ways because so many people were interested. We were, usually we have the North Jersey 3rd Regiment, and unfortunately they weren't with us this year because they were celebrating the 240th anniversary of, I don't remember which battle, but the one that requires them to be there. So they were unable to be with us. I don't know which one it was, but they said it was the 240th, and that was beyond me because I wasn't there. But anyway, I just think that, the turnout, we had the most beautiful day. I think that, kudos to our staff at the DPW for maintaining, it was like clean. I didn't have to pick up too many things this year because people were nicer for the most part. We do have people who do forget where our, trash containers and recycling containers are. But I think everyone had a great time. We had a great turnout. I just feel that Maywood is so lucky to have sponsors from our commercial neighbors that provide everything that we do there so that our residents don't pay for the rides, they don't pay for the bouncies. I think some of them have gotten it down now because the first year everybody was like, well, where do we pay? And we said, you don't have to. But I think it's just a great community event that we have, and some of our larger sponsors are the outlets at Bergman Town Center. Freedom Bank has been the sponsor of the Hayride for the last 6 years. And then we had other, just so many great people that I think that it's important that we recognize that our commercial neighbors are so much a part of our community. They're there, they pay taxes just like our residents do, but what they provide, including the decorations, the corn stalks, the pumpkins, that's something that the taxpayers enjoy, and it doesn't cost them anything. So I really feel proud that we're in a community where we have that kind of support. And one of the highlights, besides Rio Lim this year, was the display that we had by the Little Red Barn at Cleveland Field. We had so many people taking pictures that I think we should have had somebody there collecting support funds because I saw so many people taking their kids there to take pictures for their, whatever, albums or Christmas cards or whatever. So it was really a very special day. And just to note, one of the concerns that was raised during the public portion, the county actually had a 3-year study on including biking, and it didn't go anywhere. So Maywood participated in those discussions, and nothing came of that, not because of anything we did, because the majority of people at the time did not lend support to making any major changes. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Well, also the Complete the Streets study that was done probably 8 or 9 years ago was not implemented by 3 councils, 3 administrations earlier. They didn't see anything in that was worthy of implementing, and anything that was, the one thing was the bike path, and they were unsafe. they were deemed unsafe. where
It's
they were.
one of the things that came up in the county's report because of
Roads
the
are
fact that we
narrow,
have
parking
major
lots.
roads with major traffic in our town, that those pathways were not approved because of that.
That study is on file, so anyone wishing to look at it and see.
I'm not sure that the more recent, I don't know if
No, we had to
anything was ever
complete the streets.
published.
We had to complete the streets, and there was an opportunity to implement, I believe in 2000.
Public input.
2011, there was a call for public
Right.
input, and then when it was given, there was an opportunity to implement it, and the then mayor and council decided not to implement a single suggestion from that. And it died on the vine.
That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Report of the Borough Attorney.
I have no report to you this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, is there anything closed?
I believe,
Me.
Gina, we're going to have one item enclosed.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with, it's a contract issue, but neither the attorney nor I were involved in it. It's just a contract issue.
Potential conflict. So, now, get down to the good stuff. Committee reports. Councilwoman Padavano.
I want to remind everyone, October 25th is the flu shots at the Senior Recreation Center. They're from 3 to 4:45, and it's great. Ages 18 and over, and you just have to bring your insurance card, and there's no charge. I also want to talk about the joint insurance funds. We had a safety meeting, and the Ken Schultz, who is our, I'm going to read the exact title, he's our senior loss control consultant, and he did an observation about the crossing guards, and I want to bring it up because they gave us some accolades. They checked 3 crossing points were observed on Central Ave in Maywood Ave, West Pleasant Ave in Maywood Ave, and Passaic Street in Maywood Ave. And this is what he wrote. I found the personal protective equipment to be acceptable. ANSI Class 2 roadway vests and baseball-style caps were donned. Crossing guards were observed following recommended practices and procedures recommended by the MEL. The physical layout of the posts was considered very well. This included highly visible signage and clearly identifiable crosswalks. The 3 crossing posts observed were controlled by traffic lights. The crossing guards crossed students during the proper light signal right-of-way sequence. All 3 intersections are considered busy during peak hours of commuting. I observed these crossing guards to have performed effectively. I'm only bringing it up because at the meeting he explained that the accident rate for crossing guards has increased, and he was saying how he observed our crossing guards and that they followed everything to the T. And that is all I have for this evening.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Proud of our crossing guards.
You know, Roberta, another issue that did come up was there was one or two illegal people who parked illegally. A couple instances, and one I know specifically where someone tried to use a handicapped placard to park illegally, but to park. And thankfully that was caught ahead of time and put a stop right away. But
Oh, at the day of the event?
yeah, the day of the event. So just for next year, we might want to just give the police officers a heads up that that does happen once in a while. Luckily, there was a fire police officer there to stop him. Councilman Trevino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For the Municipal Alliance, I just want to report that Lisa Shealy will be taking a technical assistance training. This will help her with filling out forms and supporting documentation and making sure that everything is followed correctly and that we get maximum reimbursement for the Municipal Alliance. And also a reminder, Kicking and Screaming movie will be on Monday, October 16th at 4 p.m. at the Maywood Public Library. Please RSVP to Lisa Shealy if you're interested in going. And I would just recommend everyone to take a look at the Maywood Library website. Over the last several years, they've added a lot of activities for the children, especially after school, to encourage more children to join the library and use the facility. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Councilman Bayette.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. in the building department for the period of September 26, 2017 until today. There was a total of $4,582 in permit fees collected. So again, as I said all the time, they still stay very busy downstairs, upstairs I should say. From the fire board, they have submitted their required information regarding drill dates for the third quarter, so they're keeping our insurance requirements up to date, because I know it's very important, our safety concerns here. And from the planning board, we got a little bit of good news, well, actually some very good news, just briefly, for those of you who are aware of it, where every little town in all of New Jersey is fighting a battle regarding the affordable housing. And we got some good news. We've been ongoing this battle, and we got I guess a statement from the court saying that we're in compliance, we're heading in the right direction. So this is very good news. It's a tremendous effort put forth by the council we've used, as well as people in housing. So very good news on the Council on Affordable Housing. And one more thing, if I may, which has anything really to do with the things I try and help out with in town. But like everything else in town, we have a tremendous base of volunteers. The mayor has mentioned it a million times. And when you get involved, you realize how many people really do pitch in. Without them, we wouldn't be the town we are. And we had some people in town on their own come up with a, say, Volunteers for Vets Without Voices. And they're going to go over this Saturday, October 14th, to George Washington Memorial Park Cemetery in Paramus from 7 to 12, because the cemetery opens at 12 for people to come in and visit, and clean all the headstones, or we're going to try, like 3,000 headstones of all the veterans. If you're familiar with, if you have someone, a loved one, or whatever in a cemetery, cemeteries are not clean. They kind of cut the grass, and they maintain, but they don't actually maintain the headstones. So we had some people in town started, and the snowball really rolled. And I know we have over 100 people signed up for it. So I know we have one downstairs. Our administrator was kind enough to put it out, but I just wanted to bring it out personally and talk about it again. vetswithoutvoices@gmail.com. We were supposed to RSVP if you hadn't, obviously, by Sunday. They'll still be very happy to take your email, and just have to set up a date with them, because they're going to park off-site because there's not enough parking, and they're going to have a bus literally shuttle you in, bring some hand tools, and they're going to try and knock out 3,000 grave sites in 5 hours. But the fact that, again, volunteers are stepping up and doing this on their own is it's just another case of amazing people in Maywood. So just wanted you to be aware. I was very touched by it. So again, it's Volunteers for Veterans Without Voices @gmail.com. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. DeHare. Just before we go on, with regard to that, there was a request for the town bus to be used as a shuttle for some of the people, and I wanted to bring it. I was going to bring it up. I will bring it up later, but for now, just mull it over if we want to allow that. One of the DPW workers was kind enough to volunteer his time to drive.
Very nice.
So, maybe we'll do that. Can we just do that by voice vote?
Sure.
Anyone have a problem? Is everyone okay for allowing?
No, I think that it's needed because it's just limited parking, so that is another great idea, that we can still do this, and that's just another positive step, so that's wonderful.
Okay, all right, okay.
All in favor?
Yep, all in favor?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Thank you for bringing that up, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Couple things. Green Team Community Garden, they had their cleanup day this past Saturday. They had 6 people show up, and the DPW put a small dumpster at the site, which I was told helped greatly in the cleanup. They got the gardens all cleaned up. There's a few gardens that have some later fall growing in them yet, so they left those. They were thrilled about the sprinkler system this year. They said it helped tremendously. It helped make the garden grow better. Everybody was very happy with that, so that was a big plus having that there this year. They're still a little concerned about people just walking in and helping themselves with people's gardens. The signs have been put up, and hopefully next year we can promote it even more, that this is not a community garden for people to just help themselves do. Individuals and organizations use those beds, and the organizations that use them usually donate to worthy causes. So next year, we need to promote that even more, that, please just don't go help yourself to a domain.
It's not aid, they go with a bag. I personally have stopped a couple, but,
Can we get like a little sash that says garden control?
I was on the receiving end of that phone call, that she got after
I did that
after she
once.
stopped that one time. That grand larceny, that theft.
As far as DPW, they're continuing trimming trees around town. They put all the fall decorations up on Pleasant Avenue, which I think looks very good. They've been doing a little sprucing up on Pleasant Avenue. Some of the cobblestone curbs have been replaced. Just keeping up on making the town look great. Leaf season, if it ever does become fall and stop being summer outside, is coming, and the DPW superintendent asked me to remind all residents that we need to bag all our leaves. Please do not put leaves in the street. And as far as winter, Gary and his crew are getting all the equipment ready to go. The calcium chloride system, the new and improved calcium chloride system, Gary did extensive research on the proper use of the calcium chloride. In the past, people in charge of the DPW dabbled in it a little bit and didn't fully use it to its full potential, and that results were shown in the past. So they feel really good about all the equipment's ready to go, and this calcium chloride system is going to be a big help if we get snow. If we get snow.
Hopefully we don't get any snow.
In regards to the fall festival, the DPW, as Roberta said, did a great job. I was there all day, and the crew that was there was back and forth all day long, emptying garbage and making sure the park looked great, even though we did have, I think, a record number of people there. So it was well taken care of. They did a great job cleaning up after the fact also. The Hawk 5K was also on that morning. The mayor and I ran. I think the mayor had a personal best time of 25:24.
Second best.
Is that really the second best? I thought
And
it
what
was the
about
best.
Stephanie Lindenau?
Stephanie Lindenau, yes, placed third in her age group. And she thought there was only 3 in her age group, but it turns out there were 9 women in her age group. So
I saw her get her medal.
Yes,
That's
she
all
was,
that I...
Is that 19 to 25?
It was in the 19 to 25, yes. She wishes.
Tell her.
I'll have her watch the tape. It was a great event. John Mercedes does a great event with that. The proceeds do go to benefit the Maywood school system.
Yep.
It seems to be getting bigger every year, and with the mayor and I being big runners, we've been running mates now for 4 years, 5 years. It's a good thing, and I like to see it grow. And so I like that the town has
Great
5
community.
days in May and in October, and this October one just keeps getting better. So that's all I have tonight.
For now, I think what we should look at for our first project of the season for the green team, opening I guess in April, should be to put split rail gates on either side, complete the fence.
I agree. It'll make it maybe a little more difficult for people to just breeze through and help themselves.
I think, like I say, good lots make good neighbors, and I just think that the fact that they're open on both sides, it's an invitation. I don't even think people many times are not doing it to be malicious or to steal. They just assume that it's a community garden.
Right.
Technically, it is a community garden, but it's a community garden, like you said, maintained by individuals. So we have some of them in the audience today, so it's the quote-unquote fruit and vegetables of their labor, and we don't want to take that away from them.
Right. Absolutely.
So
yes, I think that's a great idea.
Split rail, yeah. Okay.
Are you guys going to build that?
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get the...
Get the split rail. We'll get the DPW right on.
No, I think that's one of those things that we use.
No, that's something, yeah. Absolutely.
Beds, right? You
Yes.
built the beds.
Yeah.
We help with that. But yeah, no, that's something we can knock out pretty easily.
Okay, sounds good. And on that note, I want to thank Dr. Tim Eustace for pushing me to a point that I didn't plan on being pushed. I went into that race thinking I had a certain time in there. I mean, you know me, I always want to get a little better than I plan on. But at some point, I think 2 miles in, Tim pulled on side of me. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he was taunting me, actually. He was actually taunting me. When we got to Oak, he goes, "Hey, Oak, you guys paved the street really good." And so at some point, I'm like, I tried to get past him a little bit, and he just stuck with me, and at the turn, what is that? What do we make this? I'm blonde anyway at that point. Is that
Grant.
Coolidge.
Oh.
Coolidge. The final turn. I had in my head that, all right, I'm going, and if he passes me, I'm letting him go because this is all I have right now. And thankfully, he did not pass me. I passed him, and all I want to say is when I'm Tim's age, not that he's ancient, but when I'm at his age, I can only hope that I'm in as good a shape as he is in, because he's incredible. He's in incredible shape. And I want to thank him for pushing me to a place that I didn't think I was going to go. All right.
He told me he let you win.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I didn't hear you screaming, "Don't let him beat you." I heard.
For you?
Yeah.
And then I
heard.
said, "Go, you can beat him."
I heard that. Council President Massar.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, 5K Fall Festival were both excellent weather. Thank you to all the volunteers and sponsors who put those together. These are events that makes it so nice to live in a town like Maywood. I want to speak for a minute on the proclamation and some of the comments that came from the public. Traffic safety and pedestrian safety in this town is something that we as a council take very seriously. You might not see coming to a meeting what happens, but this is something that happens on a daily basis. For example, Councilman Lindenau came to me tonight since I am the police liaison. A family had voiced their concerns about speeding on a certain street, and my next phone call was to the police chief to say, "Hey, listen, we're hearing that there's a street here that there might be some speeding. Can we set up our new radar system to see if it's true, see what's going on?" Personally, I have a conversation with a parent or see something probably 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, I called the police on somebody who had parked at pickup at Maywood Ave the other day because they were blocking part of the street. I had a discussion with a woman and her family who ran across Pleasant Avenue in the middle of the road through the bushes at night. I personally, I'm on a mission to make sure that incidents like these aren't ignored and that we try to do something. I mean, sometimes people can't help themselves, I'll be honest with you, no matter what we do. But this is a topic, this is something that's very near and dear to our heart, and I just want to say that we might not talk about it up here on the dais all the time, but it's something we, as residents of this town, as council people, whatever, as parents, we take very seriously, and we're always looking out to improve safety and make sure that our residents, especially our children, are safe. With that, I do have a shout out that I'd like to make.
Shout
out, please. I have a shout out that has to do with safety. Okay, it is a shout out to my friend Mike and Laura, who were driving from Maywood on Saturday night, and there was a person in a car in front of them that was driving erratic, and they were very concerned about this, and they called the police. The person was swerving through the lanes, and the police came to the area and missed the car. They stayed on the line with the dispatcher to make sure that the police pulled this car over and secured the situation. I don't know what the outcome is. I don't know if it was somebody who was having a medical episode or whatever the case is. But my shout out to Mike and Laura is because they could have easily ignored this. They could have easily gone home and said, "You know what, it's not my problem. I'm not worried about this." They picked up the phone and they made the call. I mean, you hear the cliche all the time, if you see something, say something. It's very important. If you're sitting there thinking to yourself, should I call the police? As soon as you ask yourself that question, the answer is yes, call the police. Okay? Citizens of this town, we are the eyes and the ears of the police department. They can't be everywhere. We can be everywhere. If we see something, say something. So shout out to them for making the situation Who knows what could have happened? Maybe nothing,
That's right.
but maybe it could have been something. And shout out to them for calling the police and making sure that that situation got taken care of. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Mayor, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Messer. All right. I want to, please take note. Patty, please take note. If you have a camera with you, you might want to take a picture of the front of the building. We have, for the very first time, a Borough of Maywood flag on the building. There never was one there before. We had one made up, and it's a great color. It's the town colors. Majestic. Thank you. Majestic. And we also replaced the New Jersey flags. It was tattered. It was pretty bad. It was faded. So we have brand new flags up there. We were hoping for some kind of event, some kind of anniversary, something this year, but there's nothing that came up. We asked historian Betty Fetzer, and she couldn't come up with anything, so we just did it and put it up there, but it looks wonderful up front. Speaking of Betty Fetzer, she was in contact, this is going to be nice when it happens, but she's in contact with an individual who was in Maywood, a former resident, and one of the last living people that we know of that actually saw the Hindenburg fly over Maywood on the day that it apparently blew up, but flew over Maywood on that fateful day.
Well, they could see it from the roof of the school.
Yeah.
They were on top of Maywood Avenue School or whatever.
Oh, were you there as well? You just...
No, I
You said
will
it.
write the story that Mrs. Spencer...
Okay. All right. I just listened.
What was that, 39th? What? Just before World War II,
Yes.
before we entered.
So when he comes, they're going to give him a nice tour of the town, and that would be a nice interview, I would think.
So he actually called me and explained this to me. He was a member of the Maywood Police Department marching band as well. One of the first members of the marching band, Mr. Reedy.
Wow.
You guys can start that up again.
Get the band back together.
The blues band.
Patty, is there anything that you missed today? We have the video. So I would suggest just using your headphones. Okay. Just in case.
You're unprepared.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Fall Festival. Roberta, first I want to thank Jean. I want to thank Lisa Shealy. I want to thank Tara Grunstra and Dina Lynch for all their efforts, and Jerry Galtown out there for all their efforts. And let me tell you something, Roberta, you outdid yourself this time. This was a good one. This is going to be tough. I'm telling you, this is going to be tough to pass.
Oops.
This is going to be tough to go past next year.
Guess what?
What?
We have two new things.
For next year.
Chili contest
Chili, that's right. Chili.
and a homemade pie
We
contest.
don't want to talk about the chili.
Oh no! That's
That was
number 3 on my list,
that was
buddy.
a tester. It was a tester. It was not the real thing. It was just a test.
Chili.
But next year, chili contest and homemade pie.
Is it a specific flavor pie? Or just any kind of pie?
Any homemade pie.
So in that context.
Seems it's something to start.
Anyhow, so that's just something to look forward to for next
Okay.
year.
So anyway, listen, I know while we're passing on kudos, Roberta starts, she finishes the day of, the preparation the day of the Fall Fest, and she starts right back up the next day. This is a full-time job for her, pretty much, getting this thing ready, and the results are evident, and also there was a time when the 5K might not have been the 5K because the person, John Mercedes, got a new job, and he really wasn't going to be able to do it any longer. So Roberta took over the fundraising part of it and just let him concentrate solely on the racing part of it. And I think it's been better, the 2 years, it's been the best it's ever been. So it was a great job. So Roberta, thank you. Jean, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys outdo yourself every year, and I want to thank you both. Thank you very much. I I also, speaking of Ryu Lim, for anybody that was there, saw the blacksmith. He was the History Channel's Forged in Fire champion. And I just off the cuff mentioned to Lisa Shealy that my son knows him and was taking lessons from him. And she said, that would be a great idea to have him come to the Fall Festival. So I want to thank Lisa, because that was all Lisa who suggested that, and I want to thank my son because...
I thought it was all John.
Yeah, well, once I told John, he made it happen. So I want to thank Lisa and I want to thank my son because that would not, without the both of them, that wasn't going to happen. So kudos to them. With regards to the chili contest, let me congratulate firefighter John Gargagliano. He was the winner of the first annual chili cook-off contest. Hotly contested, I might add. And Tom, your chili is unbelievable, and I don't know what the judges were thinking, but
It was a blind test.
It was
a blind test.
Although, you know what, you did talk a little smack, and because some people who don't know, Tom beat John in the chili cook-off, like 2 years ago?
A couple of years ago.
So,
amongst some friends.
So this simmer in John.
I knew nothing. I knew nothing of that.
He was really, he just could not wait to beat you, and he did.
I guess.
We
need judges that like hot chili.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Maybe that's what it is. And you know what? I want to thank Jeff Spenley, but he was another contestant. Although he was talking more smack than anybody. He actually, when I went to him and said that we were thinking of doing a chili contest, he actually said, "I'm in." He just right away said, "I'm in." He goes, "Don't even bother asking anybody else to do it because I'm winning no matter what." And I said, "Wow, your chili's that good?" He's like, "It's not even. It doesn't matter." And then he helped me come up with some of the rules, and after every rule he came up with, he said, "Adrian, it really doesn't matter because I'm winning this." And he didn't win. He didn't win. He actually was.
He didn't place. He did not place. Oh no, did he place?
No, he took a third. He took third. He took third. He was.
Tim Delaney had second.
Yeah.
And then
Jeff. He just cannot wait. He texted me after the Fall Festival, said, "I'm already planning for next year." So it's going to be pretty big.
Well,
I imagine it's going to be a big one.
It'll be more advertised and a larger place.
People's choice.
Sorry?
People's choice.
Yeah, I think we had 3 judges. We had you, we had Eric Fleischman, and we had a mystery judge. And I think what we should do is also include some members of the public as one judge.
I'm a public member.
No, you're a borough official. I'm talking about some Fall Festival attendees. We'll take a random sampling of people and make them count as one vote. So that would go well. And you're right. It was a beautiful day. It was actually a little too warm. It was tough. Was it a little too warm for me?
No, it was perfect.
The run, you mean?
Yeah.
In the morning it was cool.
I think I like it it warmed up during the race, believe it or not. I like it a little cooler.
I prefer to run, we run in 20 degrees, but...
You get to take the temperature when you run.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't. Unless you guys have some powers that I don't know of. No, you don't.
Gene and I have those powers.
Together. Wonder Twins. The Wonder Twins. All right. Oh, God. All right, so anyway, congratulations to all the contestants. They did a wonderful job. Tom, I don't know what the judges are thinking.
I'll be back next year.
Okay. All righty, moving on. Anything action items? Anything on the action item?
No.
No.
We got everything on the agenda.
Okay, yeah. Products, resignations, acceptance. I'm going to try this. Agatha Ajicek?
Pisarcik.
I'm sorry. As a part-time police telecommunicator effective October 10th, 2017, is there a motion to accept the resignation?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Calvano?
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeHere?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Nessar?
Yes.
Appointments. Eileen Engel, as a member of the Maywood Library Board of Trustees, filling an unexpired term expiring 12/31/2018. Is there a motion for the appointment?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Calvano?
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeGear?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Nassar?
Yes.
And I would just note that for the library, the trustees meet the third Wednesday of every month, and there's an open public. There's never been a member of the public coming to ever speak about anything, so I wish if anyone ever has any issues, they should come there first. That's where any issues should be brought. We welcome people. Right, John?
Yes.
All right, council approving the following. Number one, from the Rosary Society of Our Lady Queen of Peace Church, request to hold an on-premise 50/50 raffle on November 17th and 18th, 2017 at Our Lady Queen of Peace Church, 400 Maywood Avenue, Maywood, New Jersey, 07607. From Corpus Christi Church, request to hold an on-premise 50/50 raffle on December 8th, 2017 at 24 West Pleasant Avenue, Maywood, New Jersey, 07607. From Maywood American Legion Post 142, permission to sell instant raffle games effective November 28, 2017 to November 27, 2018. And finally, request from Maywood Fire Police to use the Fairmount Avenue parking lot Saturday, October 28, 2017 from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. for trip participant parking. Is there a motion for the approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Padavano?
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeGear?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Nassar?
Yes.
Good. Resolution by title.
Resolution 13117, resolution authorizing cancellation of tax liability due to total and permanent exemption. Resolution 13217, resolution authorizing change order number 1 for the 2017 roadway improvement project. Resolution 13317, resolution authorizing change order 1 for the Oak Avenue roadway improvements.
Is there a motion for the adoption?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Padavano?
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeGear?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Nassar?
Yes.
Chief, we don't have to evacuate the building or anything, do we?
No, sir.
Okay, I got scared seeing you. Introduction of ordinances.
Ordinance 1117, an ordinance amending Chapter 284 to make same applicable to all construction within the Borough of Maywood. Ordinance 1217, an ordinance creating Chapter 175 of the Borough of Maywood Code governing filming within the Borough of Maywood, State of New Jersey. Ordinance number 1317, an ordinance amending Chapter 287, Article 2, 287-7 et sec. To provide for excavations in the streets of the Borough of Maywood.
Is there a motion for the introduction?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Padavano?
Yes.
Trevino?
Yes.
DeGear?
Yes.
Lindenau?
Yes.
Nassar?
Yes.
Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood that ordinances 1117, 1217, and 1317 pass on first reading and that said ordinances to be further considered for final passage at a meeting of the Mayor and Council to be held on October 24th, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. at the Borough Hall, 15 Park Avenue, Maywood, New Jersey, at which time and place all persons interested therein will be given an opportunity to be heard. Concerning the statement, the Borough Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to advertise the same according to law.
Thank you, Gene. Is there any new business? How about old business? Anything on old business? Or miscellaneous business? Okay. Now, we do have a closed session. Contract. But is the individual...
I don't see her.
is it
We have
perhaps-
one contract issue that,
Upstairs, ma'am? Oh, yes, yes, yes.
okay.
All right.
Motion?
Oh, is there a motion to go on closed?
Motion to go to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood, pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act, Mayor and Council meeting closed session to discuss the following subject matters: contract negotiations. Be preserved precisely, and be resolved that it's precisely determined at this time the discussion conducted in said closed session can be disclosed to the public upon taking final action on provided disclosure shall not violate the attorney-client privilege or constitute undue invasion of privacy. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Maywood do not envision no attorney representation at this meeting, but would like to do so.
We're closed.
What you just said, you know, that's the rudest I've ever, actually, Chief,